What does it take to run a 1.2 million subscriber channel? Are you making money? Like, what do the economics of an animated EdTech channel in India even look like?
We are making enough money to sustain the team, and it took us a while to get here.
So, do you start off with the concept or do you start off with that idea?
Always try to start with the concept. The story automatically falls into place.
Do you optimize certain videos for existing viewers, certain videos for new viewers, or is everything new?
Whenever I make a shot, I always assume that this is going to be the first shot for someone on the internet for the first time they're watching Storywise. Even if you are a business, YouTube sees your account as a person, and a person can have one personality. Don't try to bring 10 different things into your channel. If you want to do 2 different things, make 2 different channels.
Guys, before we jump into the episode, I just want to tell you that 83.8% of you still have not subscribed to the channel. It takes us so much work just to bring these episodes to you. And all we ask in return is for you to take 1 second, go down and hit the follow or subscribe button wherever you're watching this, because that is what helps us bring on better guests, grow the show, and bring you more value. So if you're with us so far, please take a second, go down, drop the subscribe button, tell the algorithm that you like watching, and let's jump into the episode. Let's start at the beginning, right? Because I feel like a lot of people will not know who you are, which is ironic because you run like probably one of the largest educational sort of animation channels that I've ever come across, right? How does someone like you, who is a graduate from IIT Delhi, who was into filmmaking, who worked with TVF, I think, who worked with Pocket Aces.
For like 4 months I worked with TVF.
Okay, so you worked with TVF, you worked with Pocket Aces, then you started your own freelancing, and I think you had a company, and then that grew and you left that company and now you're doing... So like, how do you explain that to someone? Like, how did that come across? What was your origin story?
I always had this interest in fine arts, to be honest, since my school days. And being from a middle class family in India, that's never an option to pursue a career in. So the next obvious choice, or the only choice, was to go for like engineering or medical. I was so confused that I took biology and math both in my 11th and 12th because I didn't know what to do. I had no idea. And I think that choice kind of, now that I like look back at it, that shows my indecisiveness about... I was very like confused from very early days of my life. Although I was like very good at studies, but I didn't know what to do. Even when I got into college, IIT Delhi, I was a very active member of Fine Arts Club. And we won a lot of competitions, and we even got a trophy, like Fine Arts Club trophy for it. And when I say Fine Arts Club of IIT Delhi, don't take it lightly. It is as good as any art college in India. Like the competition I'm talking about. You will find some of the most talented artists in there. Let's say photography, like filmmaking, fine arts, even chess, debate, quiz. In every club, there used to be, at least 4 or 5 some outstanding like people every year. So yeah, it was the competition was really tough. And I made it into that. So that gave me a level of confidence that, I am maybe not the worst. I am better than most. So I kind of had that confidence all along in my, not art, but in my creative skills. And yeah, so when I started doing job, I was a programmer first, and then I was a data analyst. For I think for 4 years, I worked in corporate jobs as a coder and as an analyst. And I always felt like that I'm out of place. I don't know how to explain it, but you don't feel the joy of doing what you are doing. You are just getting by. That was my life was, that I was just getting by. So I thought I'll take a 2-year break, just a 2-year break to make short films, and then I'll be a hit. I was very confident. I was absolutely confident. So, and that 2-year break, that is still going on after 10 years. So yeah, when you asked me that nobody knows about Storywise or me.
No, people know about Storywise.
Yeah.
I meant like people don't know that you are the face behind Storywise.
Yeah, so I think people don't know about it because the success or this breakthrough, it came like pretty late.
And also it's a faceless channel.
It's a faceless channel.
Yeah, and like you were saying, like I didn't mean it that people don't know about what you are. It's just like it's the nature of the channel, right? Like because people don't know that you are the creator of it. That's why they don't know that it's your channel.
Yeah, I think the people who watch the full video and they wait for the explanation part of the thing,
Right.
they probably know me because I have met a couple of people who know me.
Right.
So maybe these are the people who are watching the video till the end.
Right.
But if you are just watching the story part of it, then you might not know who I am. My short films were kind of like my film school. I even considered going to like Canada to learn animation and filmmaking, but the risk analysis is crazy. The return on investment is like worse than buying crypto. So I thought, maybe I'll like figure out other ways to learn how to make films. As a creative, the worst thing that you can do is take debt. That will kill your career instantly. You will be just walking towards repaying your debt all your life, especially in India.
Why do you say that?
Because the creative jobs don't pay that much.
How much was the course in Canada that you were thinking of?
So just the tuition fees and the hostel fees were coming around like 40 lakhs. And it was a 1 year course.
40 lakhs in 1 year.
Yeah. It was a very expensive course.
Yeah.
And this is in which year?
I think it's 2017, 18. It was that time. I think now it will be even higher. And like Indian students or the foreign students, they actually pay more than like Canadians. So maybe a Canadian would be paying maybe less than half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as an international student, you'll have to pay more.
Yeah.
And plus, over the time, I got this belief that, you can learn anything from internet. If you are not doing breakthrough research in quantum physics, I think you can learn everything from internet. And in my LinkedIn bio, I've also like mentioned student of internet because that's what truly I am. When I started making my short films, I learned After Effects, Premiere Pro, Blender, the storytelling structure, like camera angles, even acting, framing, everything from the internet. The confidence or the overconfidence that I had in myself that, like in these 2 years, I'm going to make it into the Bollywood. I think that confidence gave me so much, energy to learn everything. And I think it's a good thing to have that belief at times, even though now it looks stupid. But at that time, it was that stupidity that because of which I learned so many things. And then I made, I think, 3 short films. 2 of them got into the finals of a few filmmaking competitions. I don't even now remember the name of those film competitions. They were like some India mobile filmmaking competition or something like that. And there was another one. Those short films are my film schools. Now when I look back at them, I see like the clear flaws. I can see the story is not coherent. There are many gaps which I could have like filled to make the story more comprehensive. But I think I'm glad I made them, because otherwise I would have made those mistakes later on.
And how did YouTube videos, like when did YouTube videos start?
So YouTube videos started actually pretty late. Yeah, I think I should have started YouTube much earlier because I think my focus was misplaced. I won't say misplaced, but I was trying to make an animated show. And so a lot of my energy and time was going into making a portfolio, number one, and to write a script for a show or a pitch for a show and then pitching it around. And I think whenever you leave your job, or like most of the people, when they, at least in 2015, 16, I know a lot of people who left their job to become filmmakers. Filmmaking is it can actually kill your creativity sooner than you expect if you don't get a break early. I think in YouTube, you can make so many mistakes in a very short span of time and become a better storyteller. Like within a year of YouTube. A year of YouTube has taught me more about storytelling than writing and pitching a show for 2 years.
Is that because of the feedback loop? Like you get to...
That is because of the feedback loop, plus you are creating on a daily basis. You are writing on a daily basis. If you are not writing on a daily basis, and plus the kind of feedback you are getting is directly from the audience. It's not from a guy who is like, change this, it's not coming out, this character development is lacking something, XYZ. You don't have that kind of feedback. You have real feedback from real people. It's pure numbers, it's data. You look at the retention graph and you know that the moment you mentioned this, the traffic dropped, the attention dropped. I made this one story called Jay and Viru for Storywise. In that story, Viru falls into a pit, and then Jay kind of uses the concept of torque to like pull him out. And it was a very good story, in my opinion. But what I did, I finished this story, and then I explained the concept. And I could clearly see that the moment the story was over, everybody, almost more than 50% of viewers, they dropped. So now what I do, I keep the closure for the end. And it has worked wonder for us, our like retention. Because many people, they just watch the explanation because they want to understand how it's going to end. So this is like it's real-time feedback. Nobody is going to give me that feedback. Although it looks very simple, it's very obvious, but there are many, many examples like that. And you only know these things, you only learn these things when you are creating, you are writing, you are thinking about writing on a daily basis. That didn't happen when I was pitching for the show. I even got Anurag Kashyap on board for the show. Oh. I even have a picture with him on my Instagram.
What?
Yeah, we pitched him the show. He liked the idea. We even recorded the pilot with him. But even after getting him on board, it was so difficult to get it through because the way I got to know how the industry works. And it's not beginner friendly at all. And even after getting a person like him on board, we couldn't move even an inch in the right direction. Because we wanted 10 more people to be on board, maybe a big star, XYZ, like people I don't know. And that process is still going on. Like my friend with whom I wrote the pitch or animated the pitch, that friend is still like pitching it around, and we have made some progress in that area. But now I am not part of that project. I have kind of like pulled out. I made the pitch, okay. Now if something good happens with it, it happens. But I shifted my focus to YouTube or on internet in general, like Instagram or YouTube. And I even made this channel called like Desi Despo. It's exactly opposite of what I do on Storywise. It's an adult comedy page. I don't want my followers to see that page. It's a stark opposite of what Storywise is. It's unfiltered. It has all the adult jokes. And it was my ambition of making an adult comedy animated show in India. So that's why I made that. But that channel also got me into like storytelling for internet. And it started from Instagram. Then I started doing storytelling for my clients. Earlier I used to pick up the projects of like one video projects. Let's say explainer videos, ad film. But then I slowly and gradually started picking up projects which are more like content oriented, like organic reach, content plan rather than one video. So these things, they changed over time. And whatever learning happened because of that, I think Storywise is just it's a very wonderful accident that happened. Because sometimes as a creator, you wonder, I'm learning so many things, I am going through so many shit. You learn about history as well as filmmaking, as well as how to use this software. Like, you even learn to code because you are animating in After Effects. You learned so many things, and then you wonder, is it ever going to converge to a place? I think Storywise is basically, it's a happy accident that it all somehow converged into a very wonderful place, which even I couldn't have predicted. It's kind of like an ikigai. I was not looking for it, but it happened accidentally. So that's more or less the brief story of Storywise.
How did you end up starting Storywise? Because Storywise is like this educational content, right? And was there like a genesis to this that, hey, like I want to solve for these concepts that people are not, explaining in like a fun way?
As I told you that, I was working for my clients for a very long time. I think since 2018 to 2023 or 24, I was already working for like a lot of like clients all around the world. And these clients, the engagement part of it, like which I talked about, that everybody wanted engagement. So after a lot of failed attempts, I actually not cracked, but I became more aware of where the engagement comes from. And I was already doing this storytelling for my clients. And my clients were kind of maybe reaping the benefits of it. And I'm happy about it, obviously, because like that also gives you a kick that, like whatever you are doing, it's actually making a difference in someone's life or business. But then I think around the end of 2024, I was in a place that, I think now I know like this much about content. I think it's time to put it to test. And I think this is a time I can actually like try it, or I should try it. It's not like it's now or never, but I believe that it was the right time to do that.
But why education?
I told you about Ikigai, right? So you learn so many things, and then something just falls into place. So I was already making like content for my clients. I was making educational content for pocket essays. I was making educational content for an NGO like based out of Delhi, and these all were educational content. I knew that I
These
can
are
make
all animated videos only?
motion graphic, animated, not exactly the kind of storytelling we do in Storywise, but yeah, means the elements of it. So like we were already doing that. So that gave me confidence that, I can actually make it work. I was working on this channel called TikTok Learn.
I was going to ask you about it.
So like TikTok Learn, it's for 10th kids, 9th or 10th math. So that was that was a project I was like doing for a client. And that project just, it blew out of proportion. So for 2-3 months, we didn't have any traction. I think I just had good clients, or these clients, they just had patience of, they were too patient with the content that let's try it out. Because they believe that it's going to work. I believe that it's going to work, but it didn't like click for 2-3 months. And then a day, I think I was flying to Delhi. When I was getting into the flight, it was around some few hundreds of followers. And then when I landed, it was a few thousand. That's when I knew, now it has taken off. So the first 1,000 came like pretty late, but after that it just blew. And so that was the first, I would say, educational channel that I cracked. And that channel was for math, 9th and 10th math.
And for that channel, sorry, like what was the timeline? Ki in the first couple of months, you reach your first 1,000. And then like what was the growth after that?
So I think the first 100K, it happened in the next 2 months.
Oh my God.
My physics is good. I can say confidently that I'm good at physics and math. Not so much in chemistry, but yeah, I'm like pretty good at physics. And by that time this channel happened, I was already pretty good at storytelling. I think there are very few people like making content online in India who have this combination.
It's a very rare skill set.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. It just happened. And I was making math video for 9th and 10th. And 9th and 10th math is pretty easy for, for me, it comes pretty easy. When that channel clicked, I thought, this content format can actually work for 11th and 12th math, physics, chemistry, bio, for finance, for commerce, for politics. Whatever you like put your finger on, this content format will click with that. Because we don't have, the problem in our country is that the people who are academics, they are not making content, and the people who are making content are not academics. So we don't have a culture of academic storytelling. So I think Storywise blew and TikTok Learn blew up because the team behind it was actually a content team, a team of storytellers who are good at math and physics. I think that was the key differentiator. And when I took it to physics, 11th, 12th physics, we have plans to do maths and chemistry and biology as well. But yeah, we started with physics. The only element of risk was that, 9th and 10th is still, the concepts are not very difficult. I'm pretty sure everybody in India can agree on that the difference between the academic level of 10th and 11th is huge. It's like a shock. It comes as a shock to the student that how can 10th board exam and 11th class can be so different in terms of like difficulty.
1 year,
Yeah, it's a high jump. So I was unsure about that this kind of format will work or not for 11th or 12th, because maybe the students don't have that kind of patience. They are working for JEE, like they're preparing for JEE and NEET and all these competitive exams. It came to me that these students might already be consuming content online. Nobody studies 100% of their time. So what if they consume this content? So I think that was the belief with which I went into Storywise, and that belief kind of paid off.
So one of the things that I wanted to ask was, of course, these videos are very high production, right? Like I would imagine it takes multiple people, multiple days to make each video. Right? Is that like what does the pipeline of one life cycle of one video look like?
So it starts obviously with ideas. And we do try to follow the book, the textbook of schools. So that,
so that's where you get your ideas from?
No, that's like that's our index. Like, you have like before you start reading a chapter or you explaining a chapter to a student, you should first know that whether it falls into the scope, because like we don't want to be too fancy.
Right.
We can actually make videos on the topics which are very modern and very like contemporary, because the physics has evolved a lot, but our textbook are yet to evolve.
Right.
So I don't want, I can actually make content which is very advanced, but then it will confuse the students and we will kind of lose our USP. I wanted to stick to the things that students are already studying or preparing exams for, like, like whatever they are already studying in school, so that they don't feel lost or they don't like see it as a waste of time. Although like learning physics is never a waste of time, but from like their perspective, they don't want to get into the new developments in quantum physics, because first of all it's too difficult for them, and next it might not come in the exams.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be relevant, so we follow the textbook just for the topics that are covered in that book, and then we go random. Not exactly random, but we follow so many people on internet, we read so much physics, we watch day in day out, we watch like the videos of different like creators all around the world who are into physics. And by the way, in English speaking countries, a lot of academics do make very good content on physics. So it's like you will have like there is a channel called Veritasium.
Yeah.
They hire the requirement for getting hired as an editor in that channel is having a PhD in physics. So even I applied for that. I didn't have a like physics degree, but when like before starting Storywise, I thought I've already created this channel called TikTok, so he might consider it as a proof of concept. So I just vaguely applied for it, and obviously when I read the requirement, I was like, I can't even post that requirement in India for any job. Forget about like creative job. You can't post that kind of requirement. So I think in West there is a very healthy culture of academic storytelling. So we follow a lot of people, and we take inspiration for them. And whenever an idea clicks or it matches the school textbook, we just explore that idea further and like figure out ways how we can explain this in the most intuitive way. Most of it that how we can like frame or weave a story around it.
So what does that process look like? Do you think of a lot of videos all at once? Do you think of them on like a weekly basis? Like what is that content planning?
So initially, in my experience, you always start with a plan, but then you evolve. Because if you don't have a plan, you will never start. So we started with the plan that, every week, like once in a week, on the weekend, we will have meeting and we will just discuss ideas. That was actually a very good start. But then we realized that, we were getting ideas on random days because we are consuming so much of content. And ideas are something that you cannot force. They are basically just a consequence of whatever you are consuming. Then what we did, we kind of made a habit of writing all the ideas whenever they come in a document. We have an idea document and we have hundreds of ideas. We only have, I think, 75 videos, but the idea doc is pretty long. We have a lot of ideas, but we mark all these ideas in numbers so that we never miss any of these ideas. And if an idea is kind of repetitive, we try to avoid that, or we kind of just map it to the previous ideas. We came up with a plan of keeping track of ideas in a very organized way. But we don't decide at time that, let's write down 5 ideas. We just write it down. And till now, we haven't run out of ideas because we keep on writing them on a very regular basis.
How many people writes ideas? Like, is it everybody from the team?
Mostly, I have a writer. So most of the ideas come from the writer because he's actively watching content.
Okay.
So it's his job.
Okay.
But many times, maybe 20-30% of the ideas, they start from me that, maybe we can make a video like this. Some of the ideas come from the comments on the YouTube videos. We can't make all of them, but whenever I do make, so I made a video recently based on the idea that came from a comment. And then that guy commented back that, hey, like this was my idea.
Right.
And, I immediately tagged him in a post that, like he's the guy who came up with the idea. So I don't know where the idea comes from.
Okay.
because you are doing so many things, you are reading from so many sources. If somebody asks me, okay, where the idea means like where did this idea come from, I might not have an answer. I just found it, I just read it somewhere.
How do you pick which idea to make video on after, like, okay, you have a repository of ideas. How do you pick the one to go for?
There are multiple ways. One is that we keep track of whatever we have covered. So we have this document or Excel sheet of all the topics in the school textbook, and we kind of keep a track of how many chapters are marked green. So let's say one chapter have 5 topics, and those 5 topics have like further like 2-3 like topic in each topic. So you have this very big index file, and you mark each and every topic green like whenever you like make a video on it. And if that video is partially covered, you make a note that it is partially covered. So basically you have a visual track record of what all is covered, so that like whenever we come up with new idea and we figure out that okay, we have made too many videos on electromagnetism, so and we haven't made any on quantum, let's say quantum physics, so let's pick up an idea on quantum physics. So I think even like just the last week we came up with a story about the structural strength of a triangle, how triangles are the most stable structure. And it was very fascinating, but we don't see school kids using that in practical application. So I thought, it's not exactly strictly falls into the 11th or 12th notebooks, like in the index of it. But we still went ahead and made that video. It is still under progress, but we are still making it because the story and the idea is so fascinating. So like there is no strict formula for that. I think it's just it's an intuition driven. Like there is a method to it, but it's not madness. It's part method, part intuition.
I feel like your videos have like two main parts, right? Like as a viewer, one is the part of the story, right? Of these two brothers, or hey, this family who's constructing the house. And second is the core concept that you're trying to teach, right? So do you start off with the concept, or do you start off with that idea? When does each of them come into the picture?
We always try to start with the concept.
The technical concept.
The technical concept. And the story automatically falls into place. Let's say I end up watching a reel on recent, let's say, Nobel Prize like awarded on like quantum physics, means the quantum tunneling. It's not in the school books. It's a very recent development. But while I'm watching that video, I start thinking about what we already have in the school textbook, and how this concept is basically an extension of that concept. And then I'll start thinking about, okay, who discovered that concept? Then I'll realize, okay, this was the guy who actually worked in the lab to do this exact experiment. Then, either it can be a story about that guy, how he came up with the idea. It can be like just like a plain historical story with some quirky dialogues.
The reason why I asked you that question of does the story come first or the concept come first is that oftentimes as a creator, and I've had vaguely similar channel where we're talking about nothing technical, but we're talking about like I talk about facts on one of my pages, right? Of hey, did you know okay this happens? And oftentimes I find myself whenever I'm out and about and I see something interesting, like for example, right before the recording we saw that the sun was out but it was also raining, right? So I might just become curious, just go like search it up on Wikipedia. And then that is the origination of some content, right? So for example, I went through this phase of, I don't know why, but I was just looking through Google Maps, right? And I noticed that, hey, like the lakes of Bangalore all have like this one island, right? So it starts off with something that you see in real world. And then you're like, hey, okay, let me just go down this rabbit hole and see. So he had a beautiful video on the Wheatstone Bridge, and I've told it to like 4 people so far. Wheatstone Bridge, where basically the idea is that if you put 2 bulbs or resistors in like a what's the shape?
Like the
called?
ratio, as a bridge, like in parallel.
As a bridge, right? So like as a like this trapezium or whatever it is, and you put another in the middle. If the resistance of the top and bottom is the same, right, is in ratio, then the middle one, like the bulb doesn't glow. So the story was about how this family was constructing a house, and to check if the fitment was right, the kid went and he did that experiment with bulbs, right? And it hit really hard because I've been there, right? Like I've seen my parents build their house, and like I could totally relate ki, oh, this would be such like a life hack for you to know, right? That hey, are you using the right bulbs or not? So for that video, for example, did the vision of it come from like looking at some construction, or did it come through that process of like going back and seeing how that experiment started?
Yeah, I think for that particular video, I won't say in general because there are a lot of ways like we get ideas for stories. But for that particular video, it started from Wheatstone Bridge. So strictly as it happened that we are making sponsored content for PW, for physics wala.
Right.
So many times they want us to make videos on particular topics, and like they are pretty open about like topics, but it's better that if we can make videos on the few recommended topics. So that Wheatstone Bridge, it came from them that, why don't you make a video on Wheatstone Bridge? So like that's it, like that was the requirement. And then we started thinking, okay, we always start with where is this thing used in real life? So if let's say if it's used, if we can figure out a way, or if we like figure out a like real life use case, then we just go ahead with that. Like the Wheatstone Bridge. So we use it to find unknown like resistances. So like that's what it's used for.
Right.
So that was like a real application, and the story just clicked. Okay, like where do we need to find the resistance? Maybe this guy is trying to con us, and we know the Wheatstone Bridge. So so like it organically like evolved into that story.
Right.
But many times it's hard to find, or it takes a lot of time to come up with the real life stories, especially in the stories of gravity and like conservation of momentum, and because like these are the concepts which kind of happen in space, and like what I gonna talk about, like there is like there are very few.
Yeah, I've seen this video on angular momentum.
Yeah.
Where it's the alien
Spaceship.
spaceship.
Yeah. So then we get into the realm of fantasy, and
Right.
that's again. So when you look at the Storywise content, you just look at it as one format, that it's fun stories of physics. But for us, every different kind of story is a different format. So fantasy is a tool which we had to, it's a requirement, it's a necessity. We had to come up with fantasy because many things can be explained better in fantasy. And we love to do the like real life applications because that's what students immediately connect with. But the fantasy element, if it's done right, the fantasy hits out of the park. So yeah, so it's again like it depends on what are you explaining.
That's actually a very interesting point. Do you get feedback from your viewers saying that hey, like this actually helped me understand the concept better?
We get all kind of feedbacks. So like there are two things. One is the feedback that we get in the comments. So for every 5 like positive comments, there will be 1 negative comment.
Of course.
And then the other feedback comes from the numbers. And numbers generally tell a very different story, which even the viewers don't know about. So let's say if I made a story about Wheatstone Bridge, the difficulty level of Wheatstone Bridge is intermediate. It's not very easy. It's not very difficult. So many students or many viewers didn't get the concept, but they still watched the entire video, and then they commented that upar se nikal gaya, like your explanation, my understanding 0-0. So like there are a lot of people who don't get the concept, but they still made an effort to watch the entire video and try to understand it. It's like me trying to understand a Christopher Nolan movie when I was in college. I didn't have any experience of watching complex plots. All my life, I watched Bollywood movies. I think I tried watching Hollywood movies in my school days, like Matrix and everything. But I could never grasp the complexity of a complex narrative where there are too many characters, not one main character, and every character has a backstory. The only complex story we knew was Mahabharata, and we know it because we have read it so many times. But if you watch a movie, it has to be simple. So we could never grasp that complex storytelling. But just to understand what happened in the movie, because the movie was so cool, it was so, it was like a FOMO that, I just missed something incredible because I didn't know this. Then you go back to your hostel and you had internet, and then you Google it, you read like Reddit, you read blogs, and then finally, so that was like happening. And actually, if it's a complex movie, you will see the explanation on the YouTube. Like there will be YouTube videos, like this movie ending explained.
Yeah.
So I used to watch all those videos. So
Yeah.
I think what numbers tell you, So if a like video has 4 million views in 4 days, 5 days, so the number tells you that, and the retention graphs spikes in the beginning, or it spikes at a few random points, and you know that people are coming back to this point again and again. Like people are watching, if the people are like watching the video again and again, then the beginning of the like retention graph shoots over 100. Because in shorts, people don't navigate much, although they can, but they don't. They just watch the video like all over again. But in a video, in a long format video, they can navigate. So in shorts, if people are rewatching your videos to understand the physics behind it, you will see a spike in the beginning of the video. So 100% retention, obviously 200%, like it doesn't make any sense. What is 200%? So 200% retention means that people are rewatching your video from the beginning again and again and again and again. And I have read comments that after watching 5 times, I understood it. So I think the goal is not to explain a concept in one go, but to make it so interesting that you feel missing out, that if I would have known this concept, I would have understood the story better.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but in the video, if you see the graph, there are spikes at random points. These are the points when people navigate and come back and look at, okay, and like then I again go back to the video and watch that point. What exactly was I explaining in that part? So yeah, so the idea is that people might not themselves know that they didn't learn anything from the video, but they got immensely curious. They don't know that data point, but from looking at the data, from looking at the analytics of the video,
Right.
we know that.
Are there any other sort of data points or in the analytics, like you said, that you like really keep an eye out for?
So retention graph is my favorite graph. That's day in, day out, I look at the graphs of the video, like retention data. Views graph is the first graph that comes.
Everyone sees.
Everyone like sees that. It's kind of a confirmation that your video had an immediate hook. Because your like video can be like really good, but your views data kind of tells you that whether the hook was good or not. And YouTube is also like very smart. Even if your hook is very good, but people are dropping off before watching the complete video. So even the views kind of like they drop off after a while. So your video has to be end to end good. There you can't afford any weak points in the like especially in the short form content, you can't afford any weak points. So views, retention. Other thing that I look at is the audience. In the audience tab, there is always a data that tells you that how many new viewers are watching these videos, how many like repeated like viewers are watching this video.
Do you optimize certain videos for existing viewers, certain videos for new viewers, or is everything new?
So whenever I make a short, I always assume that this is going to be the first short for someone on the internet for the first time they're watching Storywise.
Right.
So I always like keep that. So all of our video are for the first time viewers, at least as of now. The long form video, we are now experimenting with the content which has different parts. So we were writing a story about resonance. And resonance in itself is a very big topic, very like complex topic. You have to understand capacitor, inductor, and then the idea of resonance. So putting it all together in one go, first of all, it would take us 1 month to make that video. So that was not possible. So what we did, we break that video down into 3 parts. And we released one part, it got very good response. But when we are going to post the next video, so that's one thing that I want to see, that how that video performs. Because I'll give a recap of the last video. I'll give a link of the last video, that go and watch that video first. And then I'll continue the story. If that video performs well, then we know that our viewership is solid. Like the people are actually going back to the videos to revise, because you are telling your audience to do one thing and they are actually do that. Like they're actually doing it. That's a very big thing. I think you asking your viewers to buy membership and to click on this link and to go and watch this video, if they're actually doing that, it's not many businesses or not many channels in the world can do that.
Right.
So if I can crack that, I think it's a very big achievement.
Right.
And I'm kind of like looking forward to it.
Do you also check the age of the viewers? Are there any interesting stats that you like did not expect to see but you saw on your channel?
First of all, I think YouTube stats has limitations. The age stats are highly skewed because I think a lot of students are watching it from the phones of their brother, sister, and parents.
Right. Very interesting.
Yeah, like there is a picture of a woman and the comment reads like a girl, maybe 9th, 10th standard girl.
Right.
Or then like there's the photo of a kid in the icon and then it's the father of the kid. I'll show your videos to my kids when they grow up.
Right.
So, it's very misleading. So then I go back and look at the age group analytics, and companies, businesses, sponsors, they ask for this data. And I always tell them as a footnote that, this data might be highly skewed because YouTube has its limitation. We can't just take anything on the face value just because it's produced by YouTube.
This is also something that we have not thought about too much, no?
No.
I mean, it's not very obvious for us.
But for me, it's
for you, it makes sense.
It's content for school kids.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to get because now I think most of the school kids, at least in the metro, they have phones. But Storywise is now beyond metros. And I think in small towns, one household has one phone. And these kids are watching Storywise videos from their family phone.
And also, I feel like only like adults have phone with them. So it's always like you're using either your mom's phone or your dad's phone to watch something. You don't have your own phone. And that usually happens, I think, even here, because either they don't want to buy their kids a phone because that will create too much dependency for them with the phone. Like it happens in my home. They don't give a phone to a kid, but they allow like their phones to be used. Because like my uncle would give his phone, but he wouldn't buy him like his kid a phone for sure.
I think there are many reasons to that. One can be like financial, that you have only one phone in the house, and the other can be the awareness that the parents have that like this is not the right age to give him the phone.
Right.
But in Bangalore, I have seen kids getting out of the bus with a phone in their hands. So
Gen Zs are.
They have phones. In metros, I think they have phones. But the place that I come from, like kids might not use phones.
That's so interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, if let's say I were to use someone else, like if we were to share a phone, right, or if you were to share a phone with anyone, then for your videos to repeatedly pop up, the algorithm would have to understand that, hey, this is a good video, not just for the child, not just for person one who is the child, but also for person two who's an adult. Because like I would imagine that if like most of the time the person who owns the phone would be using it, right? So I would bet that they are also enjoying the videos. Maybe not as much as the kids, but they're still enjoying the videos. And that is why it's like it's working on that one account.
I never thought about it. This is the first time, and it's actually pretty amazing to.
And that's a testament to like the work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, I think because I can like relate to that, because on my Android TV in my home, my wife's account is logged in, and we both watch YouTube on that device. And her taste in music and the videos that she watches is poles apart from mine.
Right.
So the algorithm is totally confused. It's like we get very random recommendations. Like there is no bubble that the algorithm can fit
both of you guys.
Like both of us into.
Yeah.
So it is still figuring out. So the algorithm is confused. So this is from the viewer's perspective. I have seen businesses doing that. So they put on the same channel poles apart content.
Right.
And for viewers, it max to max it will piss you off that the recommendation is not proper. But for a business, it's a matter of lost revenue and lost reach.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's double tap there, because clearly you've worked in like the media space for a while, right? Not just as like a channel owner, but also as like a partner doing helping people make these videos, helping businesses make these videos. If you were to boil down sort of like the core lessons, right? Maybe like 1, 2, 3 lessons that businesses get wrong very often with making content online. It could be YouTube, Instagram, whatever. In your experience, what would those sort of couple of things be?
Most of the businesses where they fail, where I have seen them like failing, that they prepare a content plan of 10, 20, 30 videos. They already have ideas written down and everything. But content...
Is that not a good idea?
It's not a good idea.
Why not?
And if you have that plan, then you should also have some flexibility in the system. Because how YouTube works, I'll talk about YouTube. How YouTube works is that if you keep on publishing something that is not working out for a very long time, first, it won't pick up. And 2, you will lose motivation and it will never take off. So first of all, have a long game in terms of that, be ready to experiment rather than having a fixed plan that I'm going to publish these 10 videos.
Right.
Maybe make a 4-video plan. And even in those 4 videos, have 2-3 different kind of...
That's very interesting.
Like format. Unless and until something clicks. And even if something clicks, doesn't mean that you stop trying other things. Because what happens that, I have this formula of like how algorithm looks at your channel. It's a formula that I made up in my head. I don't know whether
it is actually there, but
maybe
cool.
It's an actual formula or not.
Right.
But your reach is basically quality multiplied by quality multiplied by frequency. That's how algorithm looks at you or your channel.
What do you think constitutes as quality? Let's say if you are actually working on these things that constitute as quality.
Okay, so I'll give you examples. I think I don't have a metric for that, but I'll give you examples that will make it pretty clear. So if you are making, let's say, Veritasm video, or you are making Mr. Beast video, so that's quality. You are putting everything behind one video. If you are an influencer in finance, you should be more focused on quantity and discipline of publishing on a regular basis. So it's a multiplication of that. I think in Storywise, we can't publish 5 videos a week.
Really? Why not?
We can't do that. It's animation heavy, man.
But like if you scale the team?
Yeah, if I scale the team, then...
Like you can't do that now or you
I can do that now.
Okay, makes
obviously,
sense.
yeah. See,
Makes sense.
If quantity and if the quantity and quality both are high, then you are the winner. That's the
Makes sense.
Everybody wants that, yeah.
Makes sense.
But if you put the restriction of time, money, and all these restriction on top of it,
then you have to optimize
optimize it.
100%.
So in the beginning, we couldn't go for the quantity or the frequency, so we go for quality. So if we produce decent quality videos, like consistently, let's say 2 videos a week, then algorithm will reward us if the quantity, if this multiplication, if this product is good. If I make the quality of videos that we have right now in Storywise, if I maintain that quality but publish 1 video a month, the algorithm will punish me. But if, let's say, if I increase the quality of the content according to 1 month, I'm making 1 episode of a show in a month, then algorithm will favor me.
Very interesting.
So it's a product. You have to keep that in mind. I think most of the brands, they double down on frequency without thinking about the quality. And many brands, they take too much time to perfect 1 video. It's Madhyam Marg. It's always the Buddhist philosophy. It's the most optimum path is always in the middle.
Right. Very interesting. So that's number 1, right? Be flexible. Focus on that equation that you said, which is quality times frequency.
Yes.
Yeah. What would the second thing be?
I think I mentioned like one more thing, that have a very flexible plan.
Right.
Very flexible plan, that be ready to fail.
Right.
And fail fast. That's as per my
Be
experience.
flexible and fail fast.
Yeah.
Then make sure you are finding that middle road for your quality and frequency. Be as frequent as possible, but don't lose the quality that you want.
Yeah. One last point I would like to add to that is YouTube sees you as a person. Even if you are a business, YouTube sees your account as a person. And a person can have 1 personality. So don't try to bring 10 different things into your channel.
That's a great
If you want to do 2 different things, make 2 different channels. One channel is 1 personality. That's when it works the best for you. That's why we are not doing live action or we are not doing podcast on Storywise. So if I want to do podcast, I'll come to you. I'll not make a podcast on Storywise. Maybe I'll publish a part of that podcast as a post or a story on our Instagram channel. But yeah.
Or maybe we'll start a new channel.
We will start a new channel.
Yeah.
Or maybe we will try.
Yeah. Maybe post it only on stories.
Yeah, maybe put it at the end of the story. Or maybe like give a link to like watch the full podcast here.
Right.
Correct.
So yeah, look at your channel like a person, not as a brand.
Very interesting.
I want to double tap on one thing. The quality metric, no? Like I think it's very interesting, but I feel like if we are able to quantify it better for the audience, that'll be great. Because like I feel like we understand what we're talking about, but as somebody from the outside might not be able to like exactly understand what quality means. Like
I'll give a couple of things that are no-brainers that I have at least seen a lot of brands like really skip, right?
Right.
I think production is one thing that if you can afford, you should not try to compromise on.
Okay, this is the quality list. How to improve your quality.
This is quality. This is like no-brainer. You do this, quality of your videos will improve. First no-brainer is production.
Okay.
If you are doing any sort of content with a video in it, right? Or even if you're doing, let's say, a faceless content like Storywise, where you are creating, animating, whatever it may be, don't compromise on production, because again, production is directly correlated to quality, right? You saw our channel for the first time, you said, hey, high quality, because production is high. Maybe traction is not there yet, production is high, right? So that's an immediate correlation that people have. how many people that we have talked to who come to us saying that, hey, we want to do a podcast, but this one small, that 3" by 3" light, will that be enough?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing a Zoom meeting with like huge headphones. Is that fine? Oh, like video is coming very blurry, but it's okay. We're doing Zoom, no? Can we call one founder to do this? No, don't do that. If you can afford to do it well.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. I think understanding of storytelling techniques, like that sort of very crude 20%, 80% impact wala understanding of, hey, you need some sort of a story, right?
Right.
How YouTube works, you need an intro, good thumbnail. So many people will invest so much into the video, not into the thumbnail. I think these are like fairly no-brainer. Like
about the quality, I would like to add to that. See, quality, you are talking about the presentation part of the quality.
right.
But let's say if I get the Nobel Prize winner on a Zoom call.
Of course.
So
then it's like actually that's a great point.
So you can't ask him, okay, your lights are not good, I'm not going to interview you. So I think quality, that's why it's hard to put, let me try to put a real like X and Y axis to it.
I think we can actually create a formula for this, right? Because I've thought about this a while. So I am talking about, let's say, production, right? You are talking about content.
I'm talking about the value that person gets out of the
Yeah, I'll call it content, right? Or let's call it value, right?
Educational value, it can be entertainment
Value.
Value
right?
of the person who is
Maybe
going to be.
value of the content.
Value of
value
the
of the content.
content.
So
Okay, got it.
even if you look at something that is extremely funny, right? Like a stand-up comedian. I remember I've seen so many videos that have gone insanely viral, but it's like one CCTV camera footage.
Yeah.
Right? Because the value that it's providing is really high, right? So now, even if the production value is really low, inherently, if the value is extremely high, it cancels out, right? Then you still get like a really high quality product, right? Is there anything else if we were to define quality, right? So currently, quality is production times value. Is there anything else that we want to include into this mix?
One thing that he only mentioned was you have to reduce the number of weaknesses in your video, because specifically
like that comes under value. Again, I won't say a good editing, good pacing, it all comes under value.
All comes
Right.
under
You
value.
can't have a Nobel Prize winner on the call and take long pauses. People will just tune out. You'll have to edit that video.
Yeah.
So that's already part of the value.
okay.
I can't think of anything else right now, because how it looks and how it feels is all. Imagine having a very high quality video, like a director's roundtable.
Right.
You have your favorite directors talking about filmmaking, and it's a very high production value. That is like a ultimate goal that you want. Like that's any producer's goal, that I want to get to a highest quality with highest quality content value.
Right.
Can we also add maybe satisfaction to this? I'll tell you why. Let's, in that example of talking to either like a great director or a Nobel laureate, a 30-second interview, where he's just passing along, oh, hey, Nobel laureate, what's your name? What did you do? That's it. Versus a conversation where you talked about
Again, I think
thing.
it comes under value. Now, then you have to figure out a formula for the value.
We are thinking that somebody is in the video. Let's say if it's a faceless channel, then what are we constituting as value? Is it like the ideas we are picking? Is it how we are writing? What is it in value? If there is no person involved there.
No. I think video in itself, the story,
Yeah.
I would say the educational.
content.
So if I talk about Storywise value, the educational value and the entertainment value,
Right.
these two values combine as the values. So like these
Right.
two are so punchy,
Right.
entertainment plus education, that it kind of beats everything else.
Right.
So I think that's what is working out for Storywise. So the value is basically, it's an addition of both
The education,
education and entertainment. But there can be a video which just has education, and it's
Right.
very high education.
right.
Then there can be a video like Mr. Beast, which has immense entertainment value.
Yeah.
So quality, I think now we are like
Yeah.
getting
The
to
value is basically
Education times entertainment.
So let's say if you are in a space where there's it depends on the competition. If there is a lot of competition, you have to be very entertaining. If let's say you are making an ad or a social media campaign for a brand, a face wash brand, you have to be extremely creative. The entertainment value has to be out of the roof.
yeah.
That's why brands spend so much money on just the writer to come up with the right idea for the videos, because they cannot compromise on the entertainment or the quality part of it. But if you are, let's say, in a very niche, you are teaching like postgraduate students, you can compromise on entertainment value and your students will still be very happy with you. So I think it again depends on your how crowded your like space is. So the more crowded it is, if you are like fighting for attention, then you have to be entertaining. So in education space, I think it was all like done and dusted. Any topic you pick up, you will find a video on YouTube in Hindi, English, Odia,
जो भी language,
Tamil, Telugu, you will find all these videos.
every language
But
that you want.
if you are fighting in that crowded space, then
Right.
if you bring in the entertainment value with it just multiplies with the educational value.
Right.
Quality is production times education times entertainment, right? And education times entertainment is the value.
Right.
So either it's really educational, not very entertaining, like these college lectures from Stanford, MIT that go viral.
Yeah.
Or it is like a very aesthetic video with zero dialogues, but it is so high production that people still watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's so aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right? Like a Peter McKinnon video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way to put it, because I think a lot of creatives who are really good at their craft, they don't actually know that they are following these steps. So I think if you talk to, let's say, a great musician, maybe R. Rahman, so what's your formula for writing great music? I think he will have to sit down and come up with a formula at that moment. Okay, let me figure it out. Because, intuition versus stats, like how do you go about it? I think it's the right time to talk about that. You start with numbers, you start with data, you start with analytics, because you have no idea what you are doing. But as you go along, the intuition takes over. I think intuition is directly proportional to your experience. I think if you have 10 years of experience, you will hardly look at data before making any choice, and people might call you out, okay, now this guy is arrogant, but or he's not looking at the data, or maybe you are arrogant because it's like the data might have changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, it's a rule of thumb that the more experience you get, the intuition starts it's like taking over the analytics.
At what point did you realize that you were at that sort of intuition / analytics, the line between the two, right? Because there comes a point generally when you start realizing, I can predict what will happen.
Actually, that's a very good question. Now that I look back, I don't know when that happened, because I think it happened somewhere when I was not making content for YouTube. But when I started making content for YouTube, it immediately clicked. So maybe it happened somewhere when I was making videos for my clients. It already happened that I developed that intuition, but I never tested that intuition. I think that's one thing I call Storywise a happy accident. An accident, it is accident because there is a very good chance that it might have never happened. Because I didn't know that, I have crossed that intuition and it means like analytics wala ke threshold. It's only when I started making educational content, like entertaining educational content, only then I realized that, I know what's gonna work. I still fail at times. It's not like I'm 100% like bulletproof. I still make mistakes. I'm still learning. The intuition part is still growing. The audience the audience is always changing. So you keep a track of what's happening on the internet. But yeah, I don't know when that switch flipped.
Correct. I think the goal is also to never, I think perfection it's unattainable, right? Especially in creativity, especially when you add data to it, because it's like oil and water. Like, how do you measure something that's subjective? What we also talk about a lot is that the goal is not to be perfect all the time. It's to increase your baseline. So if you're able to increase your baseline from, let's say, hey, I was able to make a video with let's say 70% retention to 80% retention, right? So now that will have trickle down effects later in the process that help you sort of get the numbers and do everything.
Yeah, I give the exact same advice to my clients. I'm working with a client right now, and I think in the beginning of the process, that client was taking too much time to perfect a few videos before they go live. So for a month it went on, and the next month I had a meeting with them and I told them, that I want to make 5 to 10 bad videos really fast. That's what I'm going to do now.
That's a great pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually they agreed to it.
Right.
Okay.
Because you won't get into the system unless you are ready to fail.
Right.
So just make 10 bad videos and get done with it.
Right. That's such a great pitch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try doing this to a
Okay,
future client.
don't pitch this to everybody. He mentioned ki they were taking too much
of
time.
course.
Yeah,
Like
if
a
you're
new
taking too much
client
time.
who's trying to do something new. So like let's make the bad videos now rather than giving you the expectation that hey, like, see, bad videos will come. You also know it. I
Yeah,
also
bad
know
videos
it.
you can't. I
Avoid.
made so many bad short films.
Right.
Okay, not bad for me, but bad for objectively bad films. If I wouldn't have made them then, I would have made them now.
So let's put this on the table that hey, we will make bad whatever videos. Let's try to make them now,
Yeah.
right? Probably in the pursuit of making them, we will get to the good ones way faster, right? I think that's a great pitch. I'd love to talk about economics, right? Because you're running now Storywise what 1.2 million subscribers?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it take to run a 1.2 million subscriber channel? Is it even lucrative? Like, are you making money? Like, what do the economics of an animated EdTech channel in India even look like?
Okay, so I would look at it from a different lens. What is the scope of making money from Storywise, and how much money I'm actually making out of it?
Okay.
These two are very different things.
Okay.
Because you can have a 100K channel and you can go all the way in on the money making route. It's very possible.
Even in the animated niche.
Even in the in any niche.
Okay.
And you can still you can have a 4 or 5 million channel and you are still not keen on monetizing it. So let's say if I have a business and my YouTube channel kind of backs that business, I don't need to think about monetizing this YouTube channel, because if you are talking about pure YouTube monetization, like the YouTube ads, affiliate, short ad, and all these things, they will never accumulate too much. If you are a one-person channel, maybe you can make a decent living out of it. But YouTube monetization in itself, it's not going to pay much. The only thing that I'm very curious about is the membership, because membership is like your app subscriptions. Right. If those numbers blow up, then you can earn anything. So I would say, apart from the membership part of YouTube monetization, every other thing has limitation, and we have just started exploring the membership part, and we are getting some very good progress in there.
Traction there.
Yeah, traction there. Let's see how far it goes. But yeah, apart from monetization, apart from memberships, there is a cap to how much you can make from it. Then comes the sponsorship part. How much are you ready to? How willing are you to put sponsors in all of your videos, and to what extent? So if you want to create, let's say, and what kind of brands you want, you are open to work with. You can very easily. So I do get messages from gaming companies, like gaming apps, and not educational gaming app, the proper gaming app.
Is it gaming or betting?
Gaming and betting in India. We don't have a gaming industry. We have a betting industry.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to go that. So yeah, that's again a way to monetize your channel. You can have, let's say, okay, so like today's videos is sponsored by XYZ Games. Go and install, check it out now. So you can start doing that.
Yeah.
We are kind of in a break-even position right now. We are making enough money to sustain the team, and it took us a while to get here.
Of course.
I think it's only 2-3 months back that we kind of like broke even. And I'm hopeful that if we just be a like profit first company, that don't take debt, don't dilute equity, just focus on revenue, keep increasing profit. If we go slow and if we go lean, then maybe we can stay in the game for longer, and maybe start growing the team and start making more things. Maybe explore more venues of monetizations of
Is there a
revenue.
stressful part of the process, thinking about money, when
It's very stressful, because if you don't think about it,
you can't do the thing
you can't
that
do
you
the
want?
thing that you are doing.
Right.
It's not a wonderland. It's like real world. You have to pay bills. I would love Storywise to be a profit driven company, because I think one of the main reasons that education or edtech startups fail in India, or they start doing too many things, is because of the investors pressure that once you raise funds, you kind of you chase the numbers and quarters and profits, and in order to do that, you'll have to do X number of things. It's not a bad thing to do that, but any entrepreneur, you talk to anyone, I think whoever has failed in this space and whoever is still working in this space, anyone would love to have a company, and an education company which is paying for itself and making profit. Everyone would love to do that. But just because the ticket value or the price per customer, one customer can pay, you call it ticket value, I guess, that is so low in India that the only way to make profit is to scale.
Actually, I never thought of that.
You have to go for funding, but it's a paradox, I guess. The moment you go for funding, you put extra pressure on you to try out different things, to expand the reach, start doing 4 more businesses, expand your
Do more
revenue
things.
streams,
Right.
all those things, because you have raised funds.
Right.
And if you go lean, it takes longer time. I don't know if that's the wrong way to go about it, to go lean and long, because like Zoho is a very good example that, I think they have been running this company for, I don't know, maybe for decades now. And they went, and I think right now they are the biggest Indian company. So either you go lean and go long, or you raise funds. But till this point in Indian education space, we don't have a company that has raised funds and stayed in business for, let's say, 5 years or 10 years after that.
One thing that I've noticed in myself, as other creators, is that thinking about content and thinking about money, it doesn't work, right? So oftentimes people recommend, and this is more for like more successful creators, is that you should have like, you do the content part or you become the CEO. You can't do both, right? So for a channel that is fairly successful, and for someone who has sort of gone through this growth phase multiple times, how, like, where is your mind when it comes to that right now? Like, are you managing the economics and thinking about the scaling and growth on the business side? Or do you have someone on your team or maybe someone in your family that's helping you? Or like, are you a one-man army doing everything?
Yeah, so I do have a co-founder who is working in the business development. And my primary focus is to grow the brand and anything that can come under the umbrella of entertainment and education. So right now we are experimenting with content. We are trying to produce more content. We are planning to hire more people. In the long run, we are trying to make a game-based app where whatever videos that we have made, it's an extension of those videos, and you have a game. So eventually, you will have a game for each and every topic in your notebook, in your like textbook. Have you guys used that app called Brilliant.org?
Yeah, Brilliant is great.
Yeah. So if I have enough profit or revenue right now, I would straight away go ahead and start making a game-based app where a student can actively engage in learning after watching, let's say, Storywise video. So Storywise is always going to be free to view, like free videos on a Storywise platform or like YouTube channel. That will always act as a brand development platform or outreach platform, so that we have minimum like customer acquisition cost. But yeah, that's the long-term game that I would like to get into.
But you guys also have members only part of the channel.
Yeah, so members only, because see, we are a very small company trying to figure out how we can earn money by providing value. So even if a person or even if a viewer buys your 50 rupees or 80 rupees, 90 rupees membership in India, they want value in exchange of it. So you can't just open up your membership and don't provide anything. So charity charity only works if you get a kidney replacement. Then people will donate. But if you tell them that okay, I'm gonna start my own company, please fund me. No, it doesn't work like that in India. So membership, you'll have to provide something in return. That's one revenue stream we are looking at, and we know that the potential is practically infinite. Although YouTube will make a lot more money out of us because a cut of the membership goes to YouTube, but I think the barrier to acquire a customer is very low. So I think it's a fair compromise.
You never thought of making films again now with all of the knowledge and experience that you have?
I think I'll make films when I can, again in my life, when I can financially make a film.
You can afford to, right?
Yeah, because in my experience of pitching around shows, not just animated shows, but also live action show, we wanted to, we were me and my friend in the industry, we were pitching a show like Black Mirror, but Indian version of it. We had some really dark fantasies or stories. Actually, our conventional stories or our traditional mythology story, they actually explore much darker aspects of human life or mind behavior than our actually movies and TV shows do. We can't do that now. We are not that open artistically as a like we're not in a like right place right now as a society culture.
Right.
But actually, if you go deep, there is some really fucked up stuff in our like mythology, and we wanted to maybe explore even beyond that. So yeah, we were pitching the shows, we were pitching the animated show, and I realized that this is something that you want to make, but then this is something that you can make, and these two things might not always coincide. So the feedback that always comes in that nowadays us time pe like there was this movie Stree 2 Stree and horror comedy was like popular. So we wrote a horror script for the Black Mirror Indian version, and the feedback we got make it horror comedy because now the horror comedy is trending. And whenever I write a story, I have a certain idea behind that story. I want to tell something to my viewer or the like whoever is watching film. So I wrote this story. Okay, that story is still under like pitching, so I won't like go into the like details of it. But I wrote a story, or I tried to write a story about the background I come from, like Uttarakhand, and the kind of culture we have there, and the kind of hardship that we go through. But my genre or my interest always lies in fantasy, and making something surreal out of it, not just go the conventional hardship story, but put an element of fantasy in there. So that's how I think about story. So the element of fantasy will always be a wish or a curse. You just manifest it in the form of a like tool which is a fantasy. So that's how I go about my script writing. But the moment you start pitching in, the feedback means the kind of feedback that comes in, that feedback might be miles apart from like what you're trying to do. And I think now if I'll ever make a story or I'll ever make a film, I will make it, or at least that's again my wish, I'll try to make it on my own terms. Either I can finance it, I can keep the budget. Now we have AI, so maybe we can do much more in much less budget. So yeah, I'll try to match my vision. Then I will try to keep as much of my vision in the story. I can't say I will keep 100% of it because that's how the industry works. But I'll only make a film if I can keep most of my vision in the story.
Talking about AIs, now that you mention it, you were also telling us before the recording how AI has like really transformed the way that you guys operate, right? So what has your experience in the creative space, specifically with YouTube and AI, been so far?
There is so much anxiety around AI. Every week there is a groundbreaking AI. Every week there is a best AI ever, or this AI is going to change. So like there is so much of AI going around right now. And I made this conclusion a while ago. I don't actively go out and try as many AI tools as possible as I can. I don't do that.
Okay.
I have this theory that AI will eventually come to you rather than you going to the AI. So for example, I never used like an AI to edit my videos or to transcribe my videos. That AI automatically was introduced in the next launch of Premiere Pro. I didn't quite extensively use image generation tools or tools to correct my images. That AI already means it automatically came to like Photoshop.
Yeah.
I didn't try to write my emails better, but that feature automatically came to email, like Gmail. So I think you just go on, keep doing what you are trying to do. I think your expertise in your area matters more. The AI will come around. And using AI will become so easy. It's like, oh, I have a laptop, I really stand a chance in the market. No, everybody has a laptop. So AI will become like that. So I don't go after AI, but whatever I find can improve my existing workflow, I just use that.
Is there anything sort of unique or interesting that you have been using in your workflow that people in the creative space should know about?
I think I'm using very, very popular, common known AIs. We use like ChatGPT to come up with story ideas or to fill the gaps in a story or like give us ideas. After a few iterations, you finally get something which is usable. I use Perplexity to do research on a topic where I don't want to be wrong or where like I don't want any bias. So especially if you're explaining physics and you want to go deep, sometimes ChatGPT can like hallucinate or maybe agree with you. But it's my personal experience that Perplexity is more objective in that. I use Nano Banana nowadays for image generation. That has massively improved our workflow. You just draw one pose of the character. We still draw our own characters, but Nano Banana can generate multiple poses and angles of that character. So in our last video, we had to rotate the chair with aliens on it. It would have like taken us hours to make each and every frame. Like we just gave it to Nano Banana. It generated the entire rotation.
Very
We just
interesting.
changed the expression because it's not always 100% accurate, but you can work with that. So yeah, Nano Banana for image generation. Then I use all the AI that is inbuilt in Adobe Creative Cloud. I am extensively using that. I haven't yet tried agents. I am exploring agents that how I can, because that now I have like merchandise store and things that I don't want to look into. I want them to be automated. That like order is placed, or maybe update the inventory, or maybe I don't know. Like it's a lot of work to like there are always bugs in the store. Google guidelines that your store is not following these guidelines. Please change that.
Right.
I don't want to get into all that. So I'm exploring agents to take care of non-creative workflow. Yeah, so like that's how I'm trying to integrate AI into my workflow bit by bit. Using AI till now, and why Storywise is possible because of AI. I think the reason is pretty simple, that I have a story writer, and that story writer is not an expert in all of physics. Physics is pretty huge. Like, even in 11th, 12th physics, you have chapters ranging from kinematics to quantum physics. So you can't expect a student to be, so I am pretty good at math, but I'm really bad at like probability and permutation and combination. So even if you are good at one subject, doesn't make you an expert in the entire, like all the topics. So AI really saved me from hiring 2-3 different people for one subject. He can just have enough knowledge to clear his doubts,
Right.
and AI will help him. So that was the first use of AI in hiring. And then the next, I just have one guy who makes a storyboard and sketches and all the art, and like generates all the backgrounds means for the videos. If you think about it, it's the job of like 3 different people. One storyboard artist, one character designer, and one background art generator. Even if you max to max, or even if you stretch it, you will have to minimum hire 2 people. Work is done by one person. And if you think about me, I'm maybe doing the work of 4 or 5 people. So AI is not like we have a robot in our office who is doing all the work, but each of us is more productive by integrating AI bit by bit in our workflow.
I think this is what they say, right? That AI will help people do more with less, and it's not that it's going to automate jobs; it's going to accelerate the level at which people like jobs like evolve into something else. As a way to wrap up, talking about content or YouTube or things in general, right? What are your plans for the future with Storywise?
Like content is a part of it. Content is something that I love to make. But like content is just, what do you say? It's a tool. You can use the content in a video, you can use the content in a book, you can use the content in a game. And I think I am more keen on experimenting my content writing skills, not just in videos, but also in games. How well I can make games around different ideas, or like different like topics of, let's say, physics, chemistry, math to start with. So that's one thing I would really love to do. I would love to create an active learning platform where where students don't, let's say they don't like think about exams or like deadlines or scores and marks. They genuinely are invested in the games. Like in Storywise, I don't think whenever you are watching a Storywise video, you are thinking about exams, or you are thinking about, oh, this I have to like revise this concept because like it's going to come in my exam or in entrance exam or whatever. Right. You are invested in that story, in that idea right there, right now. I think it's like meditation. You are invested in that thing just for that thing, not for anything else.
You're in the present. Yeah.
You are in the present. So I think game, as per my current vision, the visions, they change all the time, but as per my the vision that I have right now, I think a game would be a logical step in the right direction. But yeah, I would like to first make Storywise a much better place to make content. Not just for me. I can make only so much content. Maybe
Right.
I can get more people on board. I can train more people. I can get more from the academic background into storytelling. If I can do that with just Storywise as video content format, I think that would be a win. But yeah, in the long run, I would like to do content as well as games.
Right. Super interesting. Anything else that you would want to tell people about? Like, are you hiring? Do you need some help, or do you want to like just give something a shout out here?
We are currently like looking to raise funds. We are not trying to raise too much like from a like venture capitalist firm or something like that. We are just looking for the like first round of funds where we can just focus our energy into expanding. Let's say we want to expand into like vernacular content. We want to so desperately start an English channel with
Okay.
It's not like a big thing when you look at it from outside, but when you are like running a small team, every small new venture or new effort becomes a huge burden on the existing team. So I think having a small like fund to work with, it will give us freedom to explore more venues of revenue, which we are already exploring. And we are getting, let's say, like membership is one thing. We really think that in membership, we can generate exponential revenues. So to try that out, we need to hire educators, train them in making Storywise like videos and make members only content. We know that if we can make a quizzing and gaming app, maybe just a pilot of it, we can actually get customers on maybe, let's say 50 rupees or 90 rupees or 100 rupees per month basis. So that can also become a revenue stream. So these are the things that we know that we can try out right away because we have some level of confidence in them that they can work out. We have a Storywise store. Our notebook is actually like people are actually interested in that notebook, but we cannot place the bulk order because if we place the bulk order, it kind of like brings down the price so much that we can actually sell more of those. So these are all things that we want to do. And we are fairly confident that these things can work, and we don't need much funds for that. We just need enough funds to get that machine running,
Just enough to like light that fire.
light that fire.
Yeah.
So that's what we are looking for right now. Whatever happens after that, because I have limited experience, I have limited exposure, and I am not an expert in everything. So whatever ideas that I have about how to grow this business or how the market is going to behave, those are all my like there is a bias of me in everything. So I'm not very close-minded like this is how I want to go. But yeah, I know that what immediately I need to do. So this is how I think about funding. That if I have an idea and I can implement it right now and generate another revenue stream for my business, I think I can do that. And plus, I think the best part about us is that we have a very active following. Our customer click where we ask them to click. They have that trust in us that we won't lead them to bad places in the internet, or we won't maybe like misuse their data, scam them. So we have built that trust, and we don't want to ruin that trust by doing something wrong because we want to gain profits or we want to make profit too soon. So I think it's a very slippery road that you have a brand and you know that you can monetize it, but you have to be very, very careful about it because one mistake can make or break you.
Are you guys hiring also? Would you want to talk about that?
So I think if we don't raise funds, then obviously we will work on our like profitability and revenue. So maybe next year we might be hiring maybe for an educator, like subject matter expert of physics who has experience in teaching physics in maybe in a coaching or in a school, maybe in a college, I don't know if we can afford them. And if we get funding, then definitely we would be hiring like developers who know how to develop interactive user experiences. I won't say exactly games, but interactive user experiences, because nowadays with AI, you can actually I have this idea that I can make 2 good videos in a week. And now with the technology that we have right now, a good game designer can make 1 good video in a week. That's where the shift is going to be. It used to take, because I tried using this AI for a few hours. I don't know, it was called Cursor or something. I was fiddling with it. And I just asked it to, make a game where the user have to change the mass of the like mass attached to a pulley and then predict the outcome. And it made a very basic, after a few like revisions, it made a very basic game. I even asked it to add an inclined plane, add a ramp, let them hang, and and it did all of that. I was thinking that, if I were a game developer and I was doing day in, day out, I was doing this, I can actually make one good game. Let's say one game on pulley problem.
Like one level of the game.
Yeah.
Through one level of the game.
One level of the game. You can make one game on pulley problem.
Right.
It can have different complexity levels. You can make one game on electromagnetism. You can one game on the like resonance, how you change capacitance and inductance and how it plays out. You have to tune a radio in the game.
Right.
Like, so you can actually make these kind of games in a week now with the kind of technology that you have.
Yeah.
So I would love to do that. So if we manage to raise funds, I think we'll immediately hire a developer.
Right.
And if we don't, then it will take us a while.
Makes sense. And interested people, they have just started their store, I think a while back, where you're selling like merch, you have your notebooks. So do you have a URL for that? We'll put it in the description also, but is there a URL that you can just...
Yeah. So it's shop.storywiseacademy.com. And we are trying to add more and more products. Yeah, so that's like one place if you want to, let's say, buy from us and support us. So I think you guys can just like check it out. Subscribe to our newsletter for new drops, new products, new merch.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would help.
Makes sense.
Cool.
I think, is that the part? Anything else?
That's the part.
I think that's the part. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking time out of the day. And he is almost sick, but still made it to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming.
It's my like first podcast, so you guys are very, very very good hosts. So I must give you that.
Pleasure.
Really means a lot.
Thank you for watching this episode. And if you're sticking until here, please consider subscribing because 83.8% of the people watching the episode is not subscribed. We put in a lot of effort to be able to produce this episodes, and it'll be great gesture from your side if you subscribe or leave a comment or share it with your friends or all of it. So I want you guys to subscribe and see you on the next one.